Hello, and welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be playing Combat Sentinel, which is Carnage Marauder. I'm not taking anything special here, double leap as normal, pretty much everything else is also normal. I do have a loadout guide. I'm pretty sure I have this covered in it, but if you guys have questions, I'm more than happy to show you what I was taking. I didn't think to show that because, you know, this is just a random game that I played. I was like, you know what, this is good enough. I don't have any combat footage, and I want to put some out there for you guys. One thing I do want to mention is that I hit a 74k there, partially because it's the opener, but you're probably not going to see anything higher than that. Which is unfortunate, right? It doesn't really hit hard anymore. Meanwhile, you've got APPT hitting 100 plus thousand, or not 100, 100 plus thousand, basically, yeah, technically. I've hit a couple 107k energy bursts. I've hit 136k thermal detonator. This is why empowerment stacking needs to be fixed. If empowerment stacking doesn't exist, there would be no way for me to hit that high with thermal detonator. Obviously, that's a rare case where I've stacked it up perfectly and I get my relic procs, and they're relatively squishy, right? And they have to not die to the other abilities that I just unloaded on them, which they usually die to in the first place. So thermal detonator doesn't even get a chance to benefit from relic procs because they're already dead. So that is a case, but really empowerment stacking shouldn't exist anyway. So getting into this, we don't have a range route anymore as Carnage or Combat. 2.0 we had Deadly Throw, and 3.0 we lost Retaliation and Deadly Throw. Very sad. It's very, very sad about that. That went from my G key being empty and my Q key being empty. I used to have Retaliation on my Q, I used to have Deadly Throw on my G. There we go. And kind of like had nothing to fill that void until they made our Trauma ability to basically be a range route too, later on in 3.0. And I really enjoyed that. That was nice. Obviously, Lance / Gore took the place of Q. Carnage still felt like decent, okay, because Ravage still did damage in like 3.0, but now it's like, okay, now we lose our range route. Why? So it's a real question. Why did we lose that? Pretty much forces us to take Swiftness, because one, Swiftness is what's currently carrying this class. This would be absolutely terrible without Swiftness. We straight up don't really have a choice but to take Swiftness. They made it that good. If you're not taking it, you're kind of low-key throwing. And it's a bad experience overall, I would say. I really don't like it, and I would love to see a range route come back, even if it is just Deadly Throw coming back, because the way Deadly Throw worked is that it's a range route and they applied trauma, but it had a cooldown. I'd be completely okay with that. I'd really enjoy that. I really miss that ability. It's a pretty cool ability too, and it looked just like Dispatch, so it wasn't like anything fancy. It just really sucks to see abilities go on a spec that doesn't have many abilities in the first place, and still, over all these expansions, we still have Smash. If I use Precision, Zen, and Smash, I'm not going to do more damage than the 2.5% power tech heal by getting hit by an AoE. They have like a thing called Close and Personal, or I think it might have a different name. It will heal them for 2.5% maximum health whenever they take an AoE damage within, I think it's like 3 seconds or something, or every 3 seconds. So that's a lot of healing. That Smash doesn't even out damage that 2.5% heal. That's how bad it is. It's a very bad ability on a spec that's not really designed around trying to do AoE that way. It's AoE is Sweeping Slash, and the part of the good thing about Sweeping Slash is that it procs Atario form every time Sweeping Slash hits somebody. So if you hit 8 players, you're hitting 8 procs of Atario form, plus the Sweeping Slash on everybody. So it does have reasonable AoE, it just has a useless ability when it is missing the ability that it should have. Now I did a Combat and Carnage feedback video, which I would highly recommend maybe watching if you're actually interested in like ideas of how to fix this spec or how to make this competitive and make it, you know, fun again. Because the only thing really fun about it right now is the free crit rate you get from swiftness and the movement speed. So you can zoom around at like Mach 10 and hit Massacre, I guess. That's cool. Dogs are barking, sorry if you guys can hear that. But it's interesting nonetheless, right? But I wouldn't say it's good, and I wouldn't say it's like in a good spot. The design ideal here is, in my opinion, really bad. No, like I don't mean this in a harsh way or anything. I just think it's a bad design and unhealthy one because you're so reliant on one talent choice that it really like hinders the total possibility of how do you call it, diversity, I guess you could say, the ability to actually select something different if you wanted to. You don't have that choice. Like, it's like the illusion of choice. A lot of classes have this problem right now, and this one is even more so having that issue. A new player that doesn't know any better will end up picking up one of the newbier talents and do terrible on this, and it's already like not great, so they would do even worse. That doesn't even put them even at a remotely fair or balanced or competitive like chance of finding anybody, whether they're, you know, a veteran player or not, which really sucks. But getting into this game, I had fun in this one. I mean, they tried hitting me, but as you see, like it doesn't really work because you got double camo. Double camo just shouldn't exist still. And if they're worried about balance-wise for Marauder and Sentinel, if they're to remove double camo, I do think it would be very nice to have Pacify back, even if it's not Ruthless Aggressor, and if it is Ruthless Aggressor, maybe make this pick for it. I'd be very happy for that. That's a very good defensive thing. We're kind of a little weak to yellow damage, so we do want that Ruthless Aggressor if we ever get the opportunity to actually choose it. Like, for example, maybe give us choke back baseline and then put Ruthless Aggressor there. Maybe that. I do think a stun would be really nice, but you know, I understand why they removed it. I just wish they were a little bit more consistent. Here I am. I agreed here. I definitely could have run away, but I didn't want to. I just wanted damage. So that was like, alright, I'll just die, hit the respawn button because you can actually respawn in this game mode. So might as well take advantage of it. Sometimes I will try to survive if it's like relatively easy for me, but I just had a lapse in judgment where I was just like, man, must slice people up, you know? And just, I don't know, I got into the moment. Carnage is just kind of like that. It's very high APM, and while I might only be hitting it like a couple of abilities, I kind of have to be just aware of everything that's going on. To me, it's natural, everything I'm doing here. I don't have to really put any special thought into it. It's pretty much just normal gameplay for me. And basically what I'm doing, the only thing that I'm ever like looking at is my precision and my clashing blast. I don't need to see anything else in this match whatsoever. So my eyes are always in the middle of the screen. I don't know if you guys, you know, pay attention to like some of my videos. My eyes are always in the center. See where detail is? That's pretty much where my eyes are at almost all times. And then my peripheral vision allows me to see what's going on throughout the whole map. Sometimes I'll look a little bit in one direction or the other, but usually they're dead center. And my peripheral vision will allow me to see everything else. And since the ability is glow now, I can very easily see when I have something up while I'm still looking at middle screen. Now if we had a resource bar, by the way, like in between the resolve bar and the health bar, I could actually turn off my UI and play the game relatively well. I know my cooldowns very well, and it's very easy to play this spec. And if I had an idea of how much rage I had, I would have no issues at all playing it, I don't think. Maybe the only issue is like, when is my med pack up? Did I actually get out of combat to use it? stuff like that. Maybe that would confuse me a little bit, but that's about it. That would be a lot of fun. I've always been a fan of that. I used to do that a lot before, but now DTK is so fast. It's a little scary to try to do that because you might try to hit something and then it's, you know, not up, and then you have to go to the next one. And if that's not up either, it's like, okay, what is up? You know. So you can get yourself in a bad situation doing that. I would definitely say this is probably one of the easier specs to play with your UI off, though, which is very nice. There's like a lot of micromanagement specs in the game that may not be that easy. I think lethality is probably the easiest one that you could play with your UI off. However, like AP, you have to keep track of your real shot drops, so you know how many energy loads you have. You also don't know your heat, so if you could see your heat, that would just make it easier. Just managing your heat without being able to see it is kind of hard. Because you get some vent heat for free when people CC you, but if you don't know how much heat you have or how much you can push it, you're kind of like losing damage. So it's like it's a situation where you're always pushing the limit. And if you're not pushing the limit, you're not really getting much out of it. In this situation, I might, don't want to fight that many warriors. I would love to just kamikaze there, but it's not something that I would get much damage out of, and mostly because they would just CC me until I probably die. And I go over here just to try to get some damage off before the game ends. And here I am spamming Dispatch and Clash of Blast, either one of them. And I couldn't get either of them off because he was just far enough. That's the end of the game. I hope you guys enjoyed. Any questions, feel free to leave them in comments. I'm more than happy to help.